Turn to something we saw that was absolutely extraordinary yesterday. Mass protests by pro athletes taking a major stance demanding justice over the police shooting of Jacob Blake. The Milwaukee Bucks sparked a basketball boycott and a chain reaction throughout the sports world. This morning, the NBA postseason in doubt following the police-involved shooting of Jacob Blake. An all-players meeting was held to discuss whether the NBA bubble season should move forward at all. LeBron James reportedly walked out of that meeting after voting to stop the season. He sent out this tweet: "We demand change. Sick of it." This comes after the Milwaukee Bucks announced they would not play their playoff game.
When we take the court and represent Milwaukee and Wisconsin, we are expected to play at a high level, give maximum effort, and hold each other accountable. We are demanding the same from lawmakers and law enforcement.
The NBA postponed all 3 of yesterday's playoff games after the Bucks' decision. NBA on TNT sports commentator Kenny Smith walked off the set in solidarity with those players.
As a black man, as a former player, I think it's best for me to support the players and just not be here tonight.
Former NBA player Chris Webber added that these players are taking the first steps.
I don't know the next steps. Don't really care what the next steps are, because the first steps are to garner attention. And they have everybody's attention around the world right now.
One night earlier, Los Angeles Clippers coach Doc Rivers delivered a passionate call for equality.
We keep loving this country, and this country does not love us back. And it's really so sad. Like, I should just be a coach. And it's so often reminded of my color. You know, it's just really sad. We got to do better, but we got to demand better.
Other major sports followed suit. The WNBA, Major League Baseball, and soccer all postponing their games in solidarity. Dominic Smith, a New York Mets player seen kneeling before last night's game, worked his way through tears after what he described as a long day.
I think the most difficult part is to see, like, people still don't care. Being a black man in America, it's not easy, so.
I want to bring in ESPN Stephen A. Smith for us this morning. Stephen A., always good to see you. There are 3 playoff games, NBA playoff games scheduled today. What do you think the chances are those are happening?
I say 50-50 right now. They're scheduled to have a meeting today to resume talks from last night. Last night didn't end so well. A lot of guys were frustrated because clearly the Milwaukee Bucks took a stand. That was a great thing. The flip side to it is that it was a relatively unilateral decision. They hadn't informed anybody. And so because of that, it caught a few of the players and a few of the teams off guard. They had a meeting last night at 8 p.m. Eastern. They were in there for hours, and ultimately it was put to a vote, and everybody voted to continue playing, with the exception of the Los Angeles Lakers and the Los Angeles Clippers, from what I was told. And obviously LeBron James walked out very frustrated that there didn't appear to be a plan, but still in all stood with the decision that the Milwaukee Bucks made. Obviously, guys are incredibly frustrated. You see Dominic Smith from the New York Mets, the imagery of him and what his feelings and frustrations are certainly epitomize those of a lot of NBA players for sure. And that's why I think you also saw LeBron James react in the way that he reacted. You saw his tweet and what have you. He's clearly fed up and wanted to do away with the season.
And Stephen A., you said they're not on the same page. Okay, but if you got the Lakers voting to not continue the season, that's LeBron. Can this bubble season continue if LeBron doesn't want to be a part of it?
Well, my personal opinion is no, because the Los Angeles Lakers and the Los Angeles Clippers, as teams, they're the championship favorites. You can throw the Milwaukee Bucks in there, even though if you've watched them play during the bubble, some people would say no. It's about the Lakers and it's about the Clippers, the 2 teams in Los Angeles, the top 2 market in the United States of America, with 2 of the preeminent stars in the game, 2 of the top 5 players on the planet, and LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard. If they don't play and they're not participating, then any champion that's crowned is going to be delegitimized, in my opinion, and I think that of most NBA fans. And so it's that important. LeBron James is the iconic figure, clearly in the NBA, arguably in all the world of sports. And if he's not interested in playing and you can't convince him to play, then you've got a significant problem if you are the National Basketball Association, who, by the way, is a bit lost at this particular moment in time. They spent over $200 million to contribute to this bubble, to make this bubble happen. Their belief is that they've capitulated and they've done everything that the players have asked them to do. I've spoken to several owners over the last 12 hours, and they have literally asked the question. We know that there are serious problems in our society and what have you, but we, as the NBA community, have stood with these players. We will continue to stand with these players and do all that we can. And in light of that reality, since we definitely did agree to the bubble and we financed it, what's the problem with continuing to go forward? That's their position right now, so we'll see what happens over the next few hours as the players convene again.
Stephen A., last thing, there was debate and some players who spoke out that said we shouldn't even be restarting this season. What made this the last straw, and what's it going to take here quickly now to get them back on court?
Well, it's the latest thing. When you see Jacob Blake get shot in the back 7 times, it's more of the same in the eyes of the players. And as a result, they believe that people are not listening and people are not hearing, and they have family members in the communities from which they come. You have people complaining, begging them to give a voice to the voiceless. That's the pressurized situation that they're on. That is the challenge, and that's something that they're going to have to address. I still think a season will go on, but it's a tough, it's a 50-50 proposition right now. You can't predict definitively what's going to happen.
All right, Stephen A., always good to see you, my man. We'll be seeing you plenty throughout the day on TV.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.